So we have another conclusion here. Traditional travel industry was hit and downgraded. So what does that mean? Downgraded means that in the past, when people are traveling, going overseas, they have travel agency to help them out with all the need, you know. So that is one pack of the services. But for now, there are so many new technologies and new like OTAs or super apps are going to provide services to the customers. So when customers are thinking about travel, are thinking about going overseas, they have like so many different options. So all those options are prior to what travel agency can provide. So that means travel agency services are downgraded by all those prior functions. Using the other different saying, we have this way to describe that situation, which means travel agency, travel industry is doing very well, but they're still being wiped out. They're being wiped out not by their enemies, not by their mistakes or their bad services. No, they're wiped out by someone that's coming from nowhere, that's providing new technology and innovative services to the market. Okay, so doing well but being wiped out has a accurate description of like so many industries and so many people in the businesses nowadays. So we have to be aware of who's gonna be our enemy. Okay, so let's take more examples to explain that situation. This is called gaming, okay? Online gaming. So I think people are quite familiar with what online gaming is doing right now. This is Netflix. I believe you are watching videos online. If you are not doing, Netflix, I believe you use YouTube or some other different app or platforms. And this is Shopee. Okay, it's just a commercial platform where you can purchase so many products online. So what are the similarities of all these three things? Online gaming, online video, and online shopping. What are the similarities of them? Okay, so maybe you will answer me that they're all doing the businesses online. Well, of course, I know that. But what about their relations with travel? Are the travel consumers the same kind of all those online platform users? Are they the same kind of people? Okay, let me show you a different, diversion of the concept we're talking about. Whoever takes users' time is our enemy. Okay, let me repeat this. Whoever takes users' time, occupy users' time, steal users' time, they are our enemies. So what's the meaning behind it is that nowadays the modern people are lacking time. Okay, we might not lack money. Well, I lack money, of course, but compared with money, time is more precious to me because when I have time, when I have more time resources to manage all the things, to make money, I will have monetary resources, but time is very limited, and this is the scarce resources for now for the people nowadays. So whoever takes users' time, that takes users money as well, so that becomes our enemy. So time is a very critical resource we have to fight with, like so many businesses in the market nowadays. Okay, so we just mentioned online gaming, right? So Pokemon, I believe that everybody heard about it. So Pokemon might be a example that travel and online gaming can combine together. And this is another game from Switch. Okay, so in this game, people have their own, like we call it RPG, their own person in this game, and they can use that model to go to different places in the game, to watch the exhibition, to attend event or parties, and do anything. So this is another online gaming world. So looks like it's the other combination example of travel and online gaming. But when we think, when we talk about whether it's a successful model for travel industry to cross over to get connected with different field and have the benefits, we have to talk about one point. That point is who earns the money, who takes the money, you know, from those users. So in Pokemon, we can see some examples that people are flocking into one destination in order to, pick up those Pokemon roles in those places, so that all those crowded people might, I don't know, purchase their lunch boxes nearby, and they might, buy the drinks nearby. But the very main point is that, are those people flocking into that destination, picking up the rolls, the dolls, those items in the Pokemon world? Are they the travelers? Are they the backpackers? Are they the tourists? I believe the answer is quite obvious. They are not, right? Who are they? They are the gamers. They are the game users. So if their identities are game users, we can imagine that they will spend their time and efforts and even money mainly in the game world. They are not gonna, do the, mini tours. They are not gonna, buy a small travel products experiences locally, or they are not gonna, find a guest houses or hotels there. They are not gonna plan their tours in that place because their mission is what? Is to complete their game missions. So Pokemon, or some other different instances, we don't think that they are the successful model of crossover. So we need to be very careful when you think that travel can be combined with so many different places, different fields. The main point is if we earn the money. If not, then we would rather try to just hold our own guests, without any crossover. So since it's harder to identify competitors, what consumer wants means more. So what consumer wants, what does that mean? Talking about travel tech and innovation, we shouldn't ignore the principle of travel markets. So what is this principle? Okay, there is one saying that I want to share with you. Moving in the real world and being physically and mentally fulfilled, this is the permanent principle for travel industry, for travel market, for travel consumers. They have to move in the real world, physically, and being physically and mentally fulfilled. Then it composed of so-called travel consumers. So when we understand this principle for travel industry, our basic rule is basically to provide the service to enhance consumers' fulfillment. So this is what we are doing. What travel agencies, OP, or tour planners, or those tour guides, tour leaders are doing. We provide the service, right? In a hotel, the concierge, the receptionist would provide a service to enhance those people who live in the hotel's fulfillment. This is what we are doing, and this is travel industry. This is travel services. Without the service, it's not travel. Okay, it's something else. But there are three exceptions I want to share with you. Okay, these three exceptions might totally change, overturn the principle of travel industry. Okay, the first one is that when the machine, the robot, becomes the same, exactly the same, thinking, acting, sensing like a human. When machine, robots are exactly the same with humans. But is that possible? Okay. Didn't we have like so many movies nowadays introducing a main character? It's very strong, it's very powerful. It kills like so many enemies, and in the end, there's an old man coming out and saying like, "Ha ha ha ha! Actually, you are the robot." What? I'm the robot? No way! I have my story. I have my emotions. I have my families. Why I cannot believe that I'm a robot. I'm not a robot. Okay, so if you don't believe it, you can like tear down your head and see if there are machines inside. So rah, the main character really find that it's a robot. Okay, so it's crushed, in the end. Okay, but is that gonna be, happening in our real world? Like in our lifetime, are we gonna see that really happening? Okay, let's discuss about AI, artificial intelligence. How AI operates itself is that we give machine a lot of data and make the machine calculate and operate in a standard procedure that our engineers design for the machine. Okay, again, so AI means that it has a lot of data, a lot of information, and in certain calculation and the way of running, um, it has a conclusion very fast and then do the response, to that situation. This is how AI. So for human, it looks like the same, right? So as a child, we are going to the school. We learn, how to be a good person. We learn the skills, and we grow up, and so that we have like so many data in our brain, so we can react, properly to the situation, to solve the complicated problems. So it looks like AI and humans are the same, but there is one main difference, which is within that data circle. Okay, we assume that machine robot has really enough data to act like a human. So within that circle, the robot will not make mistake unless it has no electricity, right? It's gonna be very precise. It's gonna be very rational. But for human, when we encounter some situations, are we gonna be as rational, as precise, no mistakes like a robot? No, right? Because human has emotions. Human can be angry. Human can be emotional. Human can be very happy, very excited, very irrational. All right. So humans and robots are, in its very basic level, different, totally different. Okay, so we can still dominate those machines, and we can use them to solve the problems and to be, more efficient than human, but help us to solve the problems. But I don't think robots will replace humans and be, exactly the same like us. Well, in the very like long future, I don't know, but at least in my lifetime, I don't think humans are going to be replaced by robots. Okay. Okay. Situation two, that the exceptions that travel industry is going to be totally changed, is that 3D printing could really duplicate a town or a mountain or a landscape, you know, anywhere. Okay, so if we have very strong, mature 3D printing technology, maybe we don't need to go out. We don't need to, take plane, flying to different countries. We can just duplicate the place that we want to go to somewhere nearby, and then we complete our travel purposes. But it's not going to be true. It's not going to be happening. Okay, let's take an example. This slide shows a very European, very westernized landscape. It's just a European small town look, street. Okay, but do you know where is it? Okay, let me tell you. This place is in China. It's in China, Guangdong province, and it's called Huizhou City. It's a European city, man-made, to attract Chinese tourists to come enjoy the European atmosphere. It's built in 2005. So of course, we don't want to go there, right? We go there, we don't enjoy the cultures, we don't enjoy the atmosphere because everything is fake. Okay, so after it's failed, it has another successful achievement. And surprisingly, this place is actually imitating a European small town called Holstedt. So Holstedt is located in Austria. Okay, so this is a real Holstedt. I've been there. It's very beautiful. Okay, so that fake Holstedt actually pushes, promotes the real hosted to China market. So when people go to the fake hosted, they thought, wow, the real hosted might be even beautiful, might be even more like real, and it's very cultural, very historical. They want to go to the real hosted to enjoy that travel, feelings. So the fake hosted promotes the real hosted and make it a very like hotspot to the China market. Surprisingly, the 3D printing skills they cannot succeed in its fake world, but it's successful in its real world. So 3D printing is not going to overturn the travel industry principle. The third exception is that when it's called spirit travel. Okay, so when spirit travel is commercialized, that people uh, will not need to go out, will not need to really like fly over to different countries because they just put on the clothes and then use their spirit to travel anywhere. Okay, so it looks like a joke, right? It looks like a superstition in Asian society. But actually, there is a movie about like 15 years ago. It's called Avatar. Have you seen that movie yet? So in Avatar movie, there is an American soldier, and he is actually unable to walk because of his injury of the leg. But in the movie, he lies down into a machine box, get connected with some tubes, and then his spirit in his senses are transferred to a different planet, become the other guy, and this guy is very strong, is able to fight. So that is a spirit travel. Okay, well, in any case, spirit travel it really sounds like impossible, for now. But there is a more similar movie introduces a concept of spirit travel. It's called Ready Player One. I'm not sure if you have watched this movie before. Let's take a look at this trailer of Ready Player One movie.
This is the Oasis. It's a place where the limits of reality are your own imagination. People come to the Oasis for all the things they can do, but they stay because of all the things they can be. I'm here talking to all of you now because our future's being threatened. Go, go, go! I just came here to escape. But I found something much bigger than myself. I found my friends. Oh, see? I found love. And now, people have lost their lives. No, 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 no.
This is war for control of the future.
Find him. Welcome to the rebellion, Wade.
You don't tell anyone who you are. You can't use your real name. Hold on to something. This isn't just a game. I'm talking about actual life and death stuff.
What's going on?
Just practicing my Mario Kart. Hold on!
Ask yourself. Are you willing to fight?
uh, we can do that spirit travel in the coming future. And for now, there are so many games that really involves our efforts, our emotions into it. We feel like those world game world are more real than our real life, right? Like a Ready Player One is playing. Okay, but actually, when talking about travel itself, those touches, those physical senses, and those wind, those smiles, those noises, and those smells and atmospheres, they are not replaceable. Okay, when we direct all those things into the game world. So, in my lifetime, I still don't think that the game itself will replace our real world touches. Okay, so let's do the conclusion here. We, as a travel consumer, as a tourist, we would always expect to see a warm human host standing there in the very beautiful environment and then welcome us with great politeness and hospitality. Okay, this is always the travel consumers, the tourists are expecting to have during their trip. Okay, so those three exceptions won't happen that soon, which means as a travel industry player, as a worker in these businesses, we still have our own core value. Okay, when the people are physically moving, to the different places, we provide a service to enhance their fulfillment. This is not going to be changed. Let's take a break here.